Today we're going to walk through how you use SQrL's ChatBot SQrL to write both SQL and Python for you to utilize in a notebook. Right here, we're going to give it a prompt where we mention that we have a list that contains some customer data, and then we will eventually provide that customer data down below. We're going to ask the SQrL bot to write us the code to create the table to store this in our database. You'll note here at the end that I ask it to include an auto-incrementing ID. Okay, code looks good. We're going to add that cell, comment out the data, and then we're going to go ahead and create or run that cell. Now let's hop on over to the database itself and take a look at that table. You can see we have that users table now with ID, name, address, and email. Now let's go back to the notebook, and we're going to write a Python function to sort through all the data that we have in that list and then write them to the database. Note we'll use SQL Alchemy here to build the connection string and connect to the database. Inside of SQL notebooks, we have a variable that stores that connection URI for you so you don't have to dive in and figure out how to create it. Okay, looks pretty good. We're going to use SQL Alchemy. We've defined the write data to users. You inject a payload. In this case, it would be each one of our dictionaries for the user. We've got the query to insert into the table users, name, address, email, with the values from the payload that is provided. Then we execute that query and close the connection. Now we're going to put together a quick for loop to loop through the actual list that we have full of dictionaries. And then we're going to replace the sample data with the dictionary that we actually have. You can see it's actually called customers, so we're going to replace the variable list with customers. And now we're going to go ahead and run that code block. Okay, let's pop over to the database in the table, look at the sample, and there you go. It was as easy as that.